Hello, my name is Fred Amrine, and welcome to Student Loan Repayment, Avoiding Default. This program is being sponsored by Repay 411, a company that specializes in student loan repayment, loan forgiveness, and consolidation. Let's begin. Student default is becoming more and more of an issue because the amount of debt that most students have taken on to attend college has been increasing substantially in the last few years. With some of the new repayment programs, though, avoiding default is fairly easy on the federal side, at least. On the private loans, if you have private loans, you need to focus on those because the options are not as easy. So the reason why you want to avoid default is the interest penalties and late payment penalties are severe. These will increase your loan debt substantially over time, which you cannot afford. They compound upon each other. So it's highly recommended you avoid the default if you can. Some of the new federal programs will allow you to pay zero and still stay current. You'll need to do this each year, and these are specifically under the income-based repayment method. So there's ICR, IBR, and ISR. And there should be a new program that's going to be out sometime in early 2013 that will also offer another option. But as you can see, hopefully you can avoid the panic because of these new programs. These will eliminate the stress that you will have. Some other options that are there are deferment and forbearance that are available to you if these other programs aren't attractive. But most of the new repayment programs under IBR are much more attractive than using the deferment or forbearance. In addition to the penalties and the increase in debt that you would incur by defaulting on your loans, this is also going to impact your financial life. It will impact your credit score and make other lending options either not available at all or that you'll need to pay a higher interest rate. So as an example, if your credit score is affected and you have a lower FICO score, which is that number, and you go to borrow money for a car, instead of getting an attractive rate, say at 4 or 5%, because your credit score is higher, you may pay 7 or 8. Or the same thing when you apply for a credit card. So having the wherewithal to avoid the default is extremely important as you go through this process. As I said, if you do have default, it can get very ugly quickly. It usually takes about a year on the federal side, and it's a lot quicker on the private loan side. But what they can do is first they'll go use some collection agencies, but also the government can garnish your wages. If your parents, if they default on their PLUS loans, they can go after your Social Security, things like that. If you are entitled to a tax refund, they can attach that. So there's a whole bunch of things that are out there that can really affect what your loan balances will do as they increase or if you're in default. In severe cases, they actually can revoke your license. So, if you have a professional license, if you're now in default, they actually can revoke that. So you've paid all this money to go to school, and now you've defaulted. The government may not renew the license that you need, that you paid all this money to go to get educated for. There are some limits on the repayment option. So, a lot of students have graduated. Maybe they didn't get the job they expected, and their debt is quite high. It will put some limits on what you need to pay via the income you're making. And you can, review some of the other programs we have on student loan repayments and some of the other videos that may be helpful. But as a general sense, there are some limitations. And what you also want to do is to avoid the impact on your credit score. This will be a long-term impact, so it's really important you really look at your options before you make a decision not to pay. If you are in default, we don't offer a program currently here at Repay 411. We're currently working on one, but it does take a substantial amount of work. Here's a few websites that you need to consider. And if the collection agencies are really going after you, you need to consider contacting this website here. That they may be able to help you if it gets abusive, and sometimes it may. There's been a crackdown on that, but again, the collection agencies can be pretty nasty in some situations, so you need to be aware of that. Hopefully this video has helped you, giving an overview of why you should avoid the default and the options that you have. Please review the other repayment options and consolidation videos that are on this website. that you may find helpful as you go through this process. Thank you very much, and have a great day.